Business News on Sunrise. My name is Minu Afo. Coming up this morning, government to introduce a garments and textiles manufacturing policy by end of 2023. Also, industry raises concerns about the potential consequences of overtaxation on the private sector. Plus, a breakdown of the top 10 drivers of inflation is here. Inflation rates increased marginally to 43.1% due to food inflation. We'll bring you the details. And in our special Friday feature, we take a look at Ghana's housing deficit and we ask, are prefabricated homes an option? We have the details of our headlines and many other stories coming up shortly. Thank you for staying with us. In our first story, government is introducing a garments and textiles manufacturing policy by end of this year, 2023. Trade Minister K.T. Hammond says this policy provides an incentive framework to attract and facilitate targeted investment into the suffering textile industry. There's more in the following reports.
The textile industry in Ghana was once a leading player in the country's industrial sector, employing about 30,000 workers. That number is now closer to 3,000 and dropping steadily, largely due to competition from cheap imports, predominantly from Asia, which is making it difficult for Ghanaian textile producers to prosper in the market. Speaking at the U.S. Ghana Business Expo in Accra, Trade Minister K.T. Hammond says plans are advanced to resuscitate the industry.
The government of Ghana has, in collaboration with the industry experts, formulated a garment and textiles manufacturing policy and the incentive framework to attract and facilitate targeted investment into the industry. After extensive consultation with stakeholders, the process has concluded, and my ministry would formally outdoor this policy in the next couple of months.
U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, Virginia Palmer, charged the two countries to leverage on its partnership for mutual benefits.
Well, more billions, I guess, is the straight answer. It's $3.7 billion in goods now, lots in services, but huge potential, I think, for growth in both directions. And that creates jobs in Ghana and jobs in the United States and prosperity in both countries.
The expo, put together by AmCham, provides a platform to foster bilateral trade collaborations. The two-day event is on the theme leveraging U.S.-Ghana trade relations for growth and prosperity.
Moving on, the rising rate of inflation, experts have said, is worrying and may require government intervention. According to figures provided by the Ghana Statistical Service, for the third consecutive month, inflation soared again, this time marginally to 43.1% in July from the 42.2% that was recorded in June. We take a look at the top 10 items with the highest rates of inflation and explain why one must pay attention to these figures. Household items remain the top drivers of inflation rates following the release of the July inflation, which stands at 43.1%. Food inflation, however, appears to have increased despite reducing twice in previous months. It recorded an inflation rate of 55% for July from the previous record of 54.2%, with tea and some related items recording inflation rates of above 100%. Let me walk you through the top 10 items with the highest inflation rates. Tea bags appears to be number one on the list with an inflation rate of 121.6%. Now that's quite a lot. It means that the Lipton, the green tea, all the flavored tea bags we've been enjoying are now expensive. Shelled groundnuts is number two with 106.1%. All the lovers of shelled groundnuts who have been buying them in traffic, it's now become expensive. Dog meat is number three with an inflation rate of 103.4%. Palm oil used in the preparation of gobe Gobelavers are going to suffer. It has an inflation rate of 97.2%. Iodated salt, which we all use for cooking for taste, now has an inflation rate of 92.5%. Now, the sixth item on the list is fish. It has an inflation rate of 88.1%. Mind you, fish is used as an accompaniment for a lot of our meals here in Ghana. Talk about kinke, banku, even rice. The seventh item is shea butter, also another versatile item used for the skin and our hair. It recorded a rate of 85.4%. Now, we also have country milk featuring with an inflation rate of 83%. Cola nuts also with 81.9%. And finally, sanitary pads, which are very essential and crucial for every female or girl child, also with an inflation rate of 81.7%. Now, what this essentially means is that if you regularly spend on any of these items, your personal rate of inflation will be much higher than the national average of 43.1%. Experts warn consumers to brace up for tough times ahead. Reporting for 3 Business, I am Menu Afo.
That was a 3 Business report. Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Agribusiness Ghana, Anthony Morrison, has cited high food importation bills as one of the main drivers of food inflation. He was reacting to the rising rate of inflation, which experts have described as worrying and may require government intervention.
Keeps increasing. Over the past 5 years, our importation bill moved from $5.6 billion to now almost $11 billion annually. You also look at the figures properly and you realize that the key drivers of food inflation are cost of production. Then you also look at transportation. We know people are also hoarding food in large amounts here and there. If we can work on our national priorities and begin to design a deliberate attempt to reduce the importation bill, we will start beginning to work towards reducing the food inflation.
That was CEO of the Chamber of Agribusiness Ghana, Anthony Morrison there. Also, the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry has raised concerns about the potential consequences of overtaxation on the private sector, cautioning that it might lead to crowding out of the private businesses. Speaking at the 3 Business TV3 Thought Leadership Series, President of GNCCI Clement Osei Amoako emphasized the need for a balanced approach to taxation that ensures government revenue needs are met while not stifling private sector growth.
When we overtax, we don't have the money that we deposit in the bank for the government even to borrow. And so once you go there with your might, you crowd out the private sector. And the government has also forgotten that we are in a competitive environment and that we're in a global world where other people are borrowing low. For the private sector to be competitive, we can't borrow at that rate. We cannot be taxed so much. If we are being taxed on consumption tax, if you are a minister or whoever it is, decide that we should be taxed on consumption tax, then it means that we have not seen anything. Anybody at all can tax when you are consuming. You get the revenue. But we have to be proactive as a nation to look at areas that we have to tax to prohibit some spending, and areas that we also have to tax that will also help the economic growth.
President of the GNCCI, Clement Osei Amoako there. Now let's talk about prefab homes. Ghana's housing deficit remains a concern, with about 2 million housing units needed to fill the gap. If the country wants to address the challenges as quickly as possible, what viable building technology options would be worth considering? My colleague Michael Ogbudu explores this in a special Friday feature.
Putting up huge structures like what you see behind me can take quite a while, from months to years. But what if you can do it in weeks, or probably in days?
Prefabricated homes, often referred to as prefab or modular homes, are constructed off-site in controlled environments utilizing standardized components that are later transported and assembled on site. This approach not only streamlines the construction process, but also significantly reduces costs associated with traditional on-site building. Prefabs are gaining traction for their ability to address Ghana's housing deficit head-on. But what do Ghanaians make of the concept?
To me, I don't know others because some people may be scared. The way you are telling me some days, maybe it's just something that you just put together and make a house. But I don't mind trying it.
It will be a very nice project. Because looking at the world now, the world is growing faster. We're in a technological world. And now our population is also growing, whilst the land is not growing.
Ghanaians may be keen about the technology, but industry players believe the current business climate is not right yet.
We'll bring you the full reports later on Business Daily at 12:30 p.m. Now let's take a listen to how the cedi is faring against major trading currencies and how some of our key commodities are faring on the global market.
On the interbank foreign exchange market, where banks trade amongst themselves, the dollar recorded no price change, selling at 11 cedis. The British pound also recorded no price change, selling at 14 cedis. The euro is selling at 12 cedis 1 pesewa. It recorded no price change. However, be guided that these figures be higher at a forex bureau near you. On the global commodities market, the price of cocoa is down by 0.95%, selling at about $3,331 per ton. Price of Brent crude oil is down by 0.48%, selling now at $87 per barrel, while the price of an ounce of gold is up by 0.26%, selling at about $1,919.
That was a quick trip to the forex and commodities markets. And that's it for Business News on Sunrise. For more business stories, please check out our website, 3news.com. My name is Minwa Afo. Stay tuned. Sports News is up next.
Koyana, quick credit sia say, Sikape and Nafum, Intina Yabasa Bechecha, Yam Bosia Bonchaya home, Wutumi Babusia Edifia Sia fee 1,500 Ghana cedis, Edeco, Nanyaw Hiana wa national ID card, Woon Hiasa Ubetu Susu, Woon Hia Awa, Yan Jessica Bian Toho, Woon Sansun Hiase, Woonie Yambe Buya Futubia. Quick credit, El Wahomao, say ye Jana Upesewudi, and now Wapesaw She Ejuma for Frase, and now say your school fees, and now po a ye, was so me Ejmaya phone, so ye will be mammo. Nemum Kai say, ye mobosia ewo internet so, a face so on Mantica Crobia Batang, Bank of Ghana and Sawaj may be you move. Ain't it to Rikana Freying was 0302 200 390, and now 0596 920 833. Quick credits. London made simple. Kai said, "Media in Shishayaka Crow."
What does winning mean to you? For Yao, it's seeing the joy in his mother's eyes after he provided her with a state-of-the-art kitchen to cook her signature Unapo Jollof.
It's a mega win.
For Ajua, it's turning her passion for photography into a successful career while providing her children with the best education possible.
It's a mega win.
For Kwame, it's becoming his own boss and starting his music business.
It's a mega win.
Whatever winning means to you, Mega 6 Lotto can help you achieve it in grand style. With only 49 numbers to choose from, the odds are always in your favor. Play with as little as 2 Ghana cedis for a chance to win millions of cedis every week. Download our Android and iOS apps. Dial *266# or visit mega6lotto.com to make a mega impact on your life and the lives of others. Mega 6 Lotto. Mega winnings, mega impact. The Mega 6 Lotto is regulated and monitored by the NLA.
Let's travel to discover the beautiful sights and sounds of Joburg, tour the most enchanting wineries of Cape Town, and attend the biggest wine event in Africa, WineX, amongst many other incredible experiences. Be a part of this exclusive getaway from the 21st to the 28th of October. Tour package includes visa facilitations, return flights to Accra, round-trip flights to Cape Town and Joburg, hotel accommodation, breakfast and lunch, exclusive tours of the winelands and wine tasting in the Western Cape Province. City
free tours of Cape Town and Joburg, exclusive access to the Grand Wine X event at Sandton Convention Center, guided shopping tours and tourist sites, and B2B networking breakfast sessions. Book your place for the trip of a lifetime. Single occupancy is $2,600